Hello to Ryan, my name is Wendell Suarez Betano. Hello classmate. So, for today's video, I'm going to report about the political discriminations or the discriminating politics and the political patronage or politics of patronage. So that two concepts are just the partial system of politics system. So let's just focus in the discrimination in politics, the discriminating politics. So, have you ever wondered why the rich people or the people, famous politicians, famous candidates, most of them won the elections? Why? Have you ever wondered about that? And where are the poor politicians? So, in the Philippine politics has been a monopoly of those who are wealthy and famous, and not necessarily competent. So, the Philippine politics has been a monopoly of those who are rich. For example, there are rich politicians such as Bongbong Marcos, uh, the Rafi Tulfo, and Rubin Padilla. Especially for Rubin Padilla, he is not a politician before, or even his family is not a politician before. And the Bongbong Marcos came from the political dynasty, when he just followed the footsteps of his father. And while Rafi Tulfo is a famous person that the majority people trusted, so that's why they won the elections. And where are the poor people? So many of the political candidates, like poor candidates, poor politicians, afraid to run or to take any positions in the government because they know that they will never win, or just a few of them win, but most of them does not win because they are not wealthy. And the fact that the poor people, the poor voters, uh, tends to vote the wealthy one and famous one because they think that politicians will never corrupt the country because they are wealthy. So why they're going to corrupt the country? So that's what the poor voters or the poor people in the Philippines think, but they did not notice the competent of each candidates. So even in the constitution, the Philippine constitutions, it pertains primarily to age, citizenship, and years of residency, but silent on the competence of the candidate. Even the constitution just focus on the residence, just focus on the physical qualification, does not focus on the competence of the candidates. Let's just say that this is the famous politician, a wealthy politician, and this is the poor politicians. In this angle, you cannot see the poor people. Why? Because the famous and wealthy people cover up the poor people and make them to be the front view. And poor people, especially poor, think that this wealthy people is trustworthy because some poor people trusted these wealthy politicians because of the wealth. Most or some of the wealthy politicians distributed their wealth to the poor people just to trust these wealthy people. And that's why many or the majority of the poor people voted these famous and wealthy politicians because of the wealth, the money. So, in this case, only the affluent and popular can run for elections, monopolize politics in the end. Relying on business tycoons for financial support likely heads to politics of patronage. So because of this, the monopolized politics of the wealthy one entails the politics of patronage, the wherein the wherein there is a master and a servant, wherein the master is the political or the barangay officials or the political officials or the government officials, and the servant is the people. Because the wealthy people entrusted with the people and surrounding people or its people The people itself, the people the politicians or these politicians that govern the people around him, on him or her, the people trusted him or her. These politicians trusted by the people. So that's why there is political patronage, because they, people around him, people that he or she governed, praises or trusted these political candidates or these officials as a patron. And every every excuse me, every projects that it support that is successful, the people will be rewarded by these politicians. And that's why the people around him, that him or her, that these politicians govern, trusted him or her. So let's tackle to another topic. Because of political positions are treated like feudal properties, public funds are used by officials as their own for personal or family interests. So public funds and the financial support will be used by these officials, and people around him does not notice that because they trust this excuse me, because they trust this official, and because of this his or her family will be interested of what he just done, what he just does did what she just did, or what he or she did. And that's why the family, or even the parties or the clans, were interested to take any positions in the government because of the benefits that she or he received. And that's why the political dynasty happened, wherein family, the sons, the daughters are following his or her dad's or mother's steps in the politics. And that's all. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Do you understand? Thank you.